Hi, my name's Matt, and I'm here to tell you all the details about what goes on behind my three channels here on YouTube. I have a solar channel with over 20,000 subscribers and a video about to hit 1 million views. I've got a Build Unbound channel, which is about 500 subscribers, and I've got this one that's just getting its launch and start at this point. At the point of recording this, it is just getting started, but there's a lot of content lined up for it now. So today I want to talk to you about what happens when you find a pillar video and what is a pillar video. Now, I have an enormous amount of experience with this because this happened to me on accident with my solar channel. Now, I was fortunate enough that I recognized what was going on and I've taken full advantage of it. But I want to make sure that when it happens to you, that you understand what a pillar video means to you and how you can use it to make your channel grow and be prosper faster and better than it ever could if you ignore it. If you ignore it, it can slow the growth of your channel dramatically. You're pushing back against the algorithm. You're causing resistance. But first, before we talk about that, let's get into a pillar video is a main traffic driver to you. In other words, you post a video like I did. I have a solar video that I posted, a short, and this short just took off at a normal pace, kind of slow, but it never stopped. You know how shorts are? Sometimes they spike at first and then they kind of die down. Well, imagine that it's that little bit of a spike that you get where you're like, oh, look, I got a 1,000 views over a period of a day. Well, that's what it did. Now, every day, even today, over almost a year later, this video gets about 3,000 to 4,000 views a day, and I get about 30 to 50 subscribers a day, depending upon what it is. This pillar video really goes into bringing in a consistency of new blood or viewers to my channel, which is super important for the algorithm to see that not only am I making my old and my existing subscribers, which it expects me to build videos for these folks to watch, but what makes a channel really successful is when I can also bring in new viewers to the channel and add them to it and combine them and continue to make both of them happy. This is what is so pertinent. Keeping in mind that a pillar video or a breakout video, as some call it, is a very much a channel defining event. There is no denying it. There is no running from it. There is no hiding from it. If you do not want a video to be what your channel is about, don't post it. Because let me try to be a little bit more clear about that. What if that video had been about cute cats? And here I am getting thousands and thousands of subscribers off a video about cute cats on my solar channel. How much good would that have done me? How much good would that have done the people who subscribe to the solar channel and then next week they start getting content about solar panels and inverters and that kind of stuff and they're like, yeah, what do I care? And then they hit unsubscribe, or worse yet, they just leave it subscribed and don't watch. That's even worse. So let me stress that enough is that a pillar video needs to be intentional. It needs to be something that you want to build content around. And I would think about every video you post here initially when you're starting your channel about, do I want this to be a pillar video? Do I want this to define my channel? If your channel is about fishing and you're going to talk about a fishing reel, do you want your channel to be about fishing reels and fishing? Or do you want it to be about, bait? You're going to need to decide if you do that and that takes off. It really does define your channel, and a big majority of what your channel does is going to be about that, or it should be about that. Now, it doesn't mean it has to be, and it doesn't mean it has to be the only thing. For example, my video that's about to reach 1 million views is about the solar shed. When I built the solar shed and I held the camera up at a goofy angle and I walked around it and said, hey, you're looking for a good way to use some used solar panels? And I think I've got a really cool way to do it. And I showed him the solar shed and it looked really cool and sleek. and it was cheap because they were used, and it was simple to do because everyone's got a shed that they can just mount some panels on. It hit a lot of different areas that I really wasn't aware of at the time that I did it. But it really defined the content for me. My largest content creation now is all around a solar shed. It's all around building solar systems that are small and compact like the one in my solar shed. It's all about, the content revolves around that and other pillar videos that I found, because you're not going to find just one. Eventually you'll hit on a second one. And when you find a second one, then you're going to want to build a second base of content around that, and hopefully there'll be some overlaps. And I know everyone's seen those bubble charts where you have, a bubble on this side of the screen and a bubble on this side of the screen, and that content in the middle is what everybody likes. Hopefully the closer those bubbles are together and the more of it overlaps between those two pillars, the better off you're going to be. And if you end up with a third one, even better if they overlap again, which I've got a couple at this point that I do. Small solar systems, mobile solar systems, and panels on sheds and solar sheds and that kind of thing. 3 different types of solar systems, 3 different types of people, but they all kind of like each other, and that's what a pillar system is about. Not one pillar video, which we're talking about here, but I've got a pillar system, which is multiple. And I always intertwine all of the content and try to stretch it from one person to another. Related videos perform much better when they're part of a pillar. In other words, if I come out with a video that talks about when I moved in January, early in January, I moved and I lost the solar shed. So instead of thinking of it as a bad thing, what I did is look at version 2 of the solar shed, and I showed them the new shed, and we started all over. We built the new solar shed, we put the inverters in, we put new solar panels up, we did the whole thing completely different, but it was all based around the same original pillar content. The video that I have out there still performs every single matter of fact. The closer it gets to hitting 1 million, it's performing better today than it was a month ago. And it continues to increase because now I got season coming around to help me out also. So you're going to want to also do as I did and create an ecosystem of content around these pillars. In other words, come back and visit them. Talk about them. For me, the solar shed was a way to feed the RV. Now it's a way to feed the house and have backup during a hurricane. Or now it's a way to test new batteries, or now you want to build an ecosystem around it so that it actually, you can use that growth and those new people, drag them in, and everyone benefits from that content. This creates a really good environment for old subscribers and new subscribers. And that's really what's important. That's what YouTube is looking for. Keep in mind, YouTube expects you to create videos that your subscribers are going to like. What it wants is for you to create videos that also appeal to new people so that you can grow and get bigger. The bigger you get, the more people watch your videos, the more money they make, and the more money you make. You're on the same team. The algorithm is working for you. You just need to know what type of game you're playing, what field you're on, what size bat to use, and when it's time for you to go up to bat. I encourage you to view this video here and look at how I've designed my content around these techniques to increase the traffic on your site, build it for short-term growth and long-term growth. My name's Matt. I'm exposing everything that happens behind the scene on all three of my YouTube channels. I'm hoping you'll come along with a trip for me. We'll learn together. I'll learn from you. You can learn from me. I'll show you the things I've done that don't work, and you can show me some of the things you're doing that is working. Subscribe now, and I'll see you on the next video. Talk to you then. Bye.